So we have taken a right from Jumbo Plaza and we're heading west. With the first school we will be approaching would be the Agent T. Hazel Primary School, where the students will bid their farewell. On board they should have flags. he's trying to get to the front. We have all rights to do so. So as we approach the Bethel Church, we can take a glimpse of where the Honorable Mr. Hughes will be laid to rest. Okay, right ahead we can see there are a few students who are bidding their farewell with their flags, as we can see right here.
Voilà. Yeah, no.
You see there are more students. They're waving their flags. Respect
Hi.
for the Honorable Mr. They're saying hello. So as we proceed west, the next school we will be approaching will be the Hubert Primary School. For those of you who are not here, the wind is very high, so we ask that you please do not hold this against us, as we cannot do anything about the wind. Take a left onto yes, folks are bidding their farewell. As you can see right ahead, we're at the junction where we'll take a left down to the agency. Here's the primary school where the students there will bid their farewell. I'm anticipating a good number of students. This school has quite a number of students, so I'm anticipating there will be a large turnout at the entrance of the school. But right ahead we can see we already have some flags. We already have some flags waving in respect for the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes. We can see the students at the side of the road here. They're bidding their farewell with the flags, both on the left and the right side of the road. Let's take a little closer. This is in respect for Honorable, our former Chief Minister, as we go down to the agency. Here's the primary school. Numerous flags, as I anticipated, there will be a large turnout, and so sad here. As you can see, it's quite a lengthy trail. The students bidding their farewell. also have drawings of the Anguilla flag, art by the students. Here we have the flag. Yes, students are bidding their farewell to the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes as we leave the A20 Primary School. We are now as we leave, we are heading again, we want to thank you for tuning in with us as we bring to you live the farewell by the primary school students and secondary students for the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes. He was quite a patriot of Anguilla, who many would say tried his best and did his best and have accomplished a lot for Anguilla. Things that might have seemed impossible were very possible. He's also known as a very cool person to talk with. So he was known as a very cool person to talk with, and he left quite a statement. Very shocking and heartbreaking at his passing. So right now we are at Panel Fire Sales at Roy Point, and we can see folks there also bidding their farewell.
And then from here we moving on. Yeah. Yeah. Quiet. Clear the end. Clear the end.
Again, we want to say thank you for tuning in.
I listen so long for this one, man.
In Anguilla, as we bring to you the farewell for the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes by the students and people of Anguilla. We do hope you enjoy this stream. As you know what we do. Sharing the world through our lens. right now we're heading towards the ferry terminal. Right ahead of us we can see the vehicles. Okay, we have someone bidding their farewell.
Lot of respect. Give me the desire what you deserve. Yes, man, I respect that.
Alright, she's saying respect, give him what he deserves. Ahead we can see there are some students again showing respect with their Anguilla flags, and it's always good to see the little ones participating in what we call history. This is an historic event, so they are bidding their farewell. Alright, so they're bidding their farewell. So we can see that both students and the people of Anguilla are joyously bidding their farewell to the former Chief Minister of Anguilla, the late Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Where we will make a walk on. Yes, we are approaching the ferry terminal in Blanc. main road.
Easy. Let me go and get some luggage.
You can see we're down here in the Bloom Point neighborhood, making a roundabout turn at Ferry Terminal, and we'll be heading back out. Give the little shake there, we're on a dot road. Right. We'll be heading, we will not be taking the back road to Georgia, however we'll be taking the same route that we came in. Folks at the side of the road, they're bidding you farewell. You can see even the baby, I think, would probably like to bid a farewell. As we take a look back, we can see we have quite a tail behind us. Folks who are also touring with us. For those of you who are now joining us on this stream, we thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you do enjoy this occasion. we're gonna head down to Spanish Town right now. As you can see, we're gonna now head down to Spanish Town. For those of you who are now joining, the wind is a little high today, so there's nothing we can really do about that, but we hope that it's clear and understandable to you. Right now we have made a stop in Spanish Town where we gave this community the opportunity to bid their farewell. We are now on the move. We are continuing, heading towards the main road. While we see that persons may appear to have a smile on their faces, they may wave and bid their farewells with smiles and laughs and kind words. It's a time of sadness as well, just to know that Anguilla has lost a patriot, but we still have to thank God for the time that he has been with us. Trust in God because he knows best. Approaching the main road where we'll be taking a left heading towards the western end of the island. now here in Southville at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Yes guys, we are now passing the dungeon gym heading west as we are about to allow the students of the Western Primary School to Allison Primary School to bid their farewell. Okay, so right ahead we see folks at the Hughes Medical Center bidding their farewell. Yes, we can see even doctors are bidding their farewell. Also at the western branch of the National Commercial Bank of Anguilla, we can see folks as well. They are waving, they're showing their respects to the late Mr. Hughes for what he has done for Anguilla. Yeah, so we proceed west as we approach stoplight junction at Long Bay. Proceeding west towards primary school. We can see folks have on their blinkers. Up front we have our cyclists. We want to give a shout out to our cyclists for showing their respects and joining this motorcade. Again, folks, we want to ask that you forgive us for the wind, as it is beyond our control. We'll do the best that we can to bring this to you very clear as possible. So we're on the western end of the island. We are now just right above Best Buy West, where we will be making a stop at the Alvin Allison Primary School, where the students will pay their respects, also with their flags. So right ahead of us we can see the vehicle, the hearse that is carrying the body of the late Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. As the people of Anguilla pay their last respects island-wide, as they show their appreciation for what he has done and the life he has lived. So we're continuing on to the Alvin Allison Primary School. We're right above Best Buy West. Here we have someone also waving and paying her respects. I think he was a very loved man of Anguilla, and we can clearly see that. At Best Buy West, we can see folks at the entrance who are also waving and showing their respects. So right now we're approaching the Alvin Allison Primary School, where students will be waving their flag, as we can see up ahead. We have our officers who are patrolling and making sure that the street is clear. All right, we can see we also have teachers as well. We also have teachers. These are students. We have very skilled students as well. They all have drawn their flags. So like I said, we have our teachers and we have students. So for those of you who are now joining us, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we are at the Alvin Allison Primary School in West End. Yeah, so here we can see students. They're waving the flags. They're actually singing the national song as well, as we take a listen. Yes, they're singing a national song, showing their respects. further west as we pass famous Lynette's Military Investment. Shout out to Sister Lynette. We have some staff of the Four Seasons restaurant. Sorry, the Four Seasons Hotel. I'm in love with the restaurants, guys. Food is delicious there. So we're now at the far western end of the island, where we will be also giving residents in this area the opportunity to pay their farewell to the late Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. He was loved by most persons, or let me say by all persons. Again, we want to thank you for tuning in to Clean Stream and in Anguilla for the live coverage of the farewell for the late Mr. Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes, as we take you through the rest of this motorcade. We do hope you enjoy it, and we too bid our farewell. So we can see residents down here also waving the Anguilla flags. We have our brother Mikey, very good friend of mine. Guys, we're at the western end of the island, where we will now be heading back east, heading towards the east end of the island. We have our cyclists here who are paying their respects as well. We want to thank them very much. So as you can see, we have quite a trail behind us where folks too are taking this journey with us. And there goes the Honorable Premier. we give you a preview of the tale of our motorcade. So we can see that we have ministers who are also part of this occasion. They are also celebrating the loss of the late Hubert Benjamin Hughes. So we can see that everyone is involved here and no one is being left out. Again, the wind is very high and we do apologize for that, but it's beyond our control. But we ask that you stick with us as we take you through the remaining of this motorcade, giving you live coverage of proceedings. Bringing to you live from Clean Stream and in Anguilla. Here we can see some of the staff of the Four Seasons Hotel who are waving and bidding their farewell. So we can see that everyone is taking part today, playing their role, and we do thank them for that, as we all pay our respects to our former Chief Minister of Anguilla. The wind is very high, guys. I do apologize for that, as we have no control over that. Okay, we are approaching the Alvin Allison Primary School again, where you'll get another preview of the students bidding their farewell as they wave their flags. Right up ahead we can see the waving of those flags. Yes, we have students and teachers. Everyone is taking part today. Like I said, we also have teachers bidding their farewell. What route we are taking. So we're giving everyone the opportunity to bid their farewell. See, we have folks at the Hughes Bay. So we are now passing Blanchard's in West End, and we're heading over to Maljohana. I'm guessing folks there too will be paying their respects. Good. So we can see folks here at the Karama Hotel. They're holding a massive Anguilla flag in honor of the Honorable late Mr. Hubert Hughes. now passing the entrance to the Mariana Hotel as we proceed through Long Bay, heading towards the eastern end of the island. We're going to give a shout out to all those who have paid their respects. It's much appreciated by the family. Again, guys, I would like to just tell you that it's very windy. I guess you can recognize that by now, but that is beyond our control. But stay with us. Stay with us as we give you the full coverage of the farewell for the Honorable Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes. So yes, we have those who are with us as well, who are also part of this motorcade that makes this such a joyous occasion. We can see folks have on their blinkers in respect. Those are blowing, folks are blowing their horns. Some are showing the blinkers. Alright, we are now about to move off.
next stop will be just outside the residence of Mr. Hughes for a few minutes. And then we'll continue into the South Hill area, going down towards Sandy Ground around the pond, going through Water Swamp, George Hill. And at the roundabout there next to the airport, we'll make a right. We'll go in towards the airport. We'll be in that area as well. We'll drive by the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, coming back out, coming through the area, going along the Queen Elizabeth Highway, heading out towards the UWI Center, and then we'll go into the Stony Ground area. So we continue with Lloyd's Live, full and comprehensive coverage of this official motorcade. As I the police motorbikes, outriders there as well. Behind us, Mrs. Hughes, the wife of the late Hubert Hughes, and other family members. And then behind Mrs. Hughes' vehicle, we have the Honorable Premier and other ministers of government and other senior government officials, and then members of the public bringing up the rear of this parade. So we're back in the South Hill area now.
Industrial Equipment Limited in South Hill as we head east towards the eastern end of the island. See ahead of us the police vehicle and the members of the biking club. They're beginning to slow a bit now as we come within view of his son's business, Greg's business place, orange, unmistakable orange building, and then just further east of Greg's business place is the residence. we'll be having a public tribute service for Mr. Hughes, Honorable Mr. Hughes, at 4:30. So you can tune in with us. You can tune in with us for that as well, as we will bring that to you live. So here we have our Honorable Minister, Mrs. Deanne Kentish Rogers. As we can see what's going on up ahead, this is, like I said, the home of the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Here's our brother Nat from the Anguilla.
Saluting. Funeral director just moves away as the casket is visible from our vantage point here in our vehicle behind the hearse. Our driver is just alighting just to get a foot stretch.
Yes, so this is the home of
hearing a rendition of the national song.
Benjamin Hughes.
Funeral director Alistair Richardson. In a slow march goes up, pushes a button, and the hearse on its slider will slide back into the hearse. So it came out partially, just a small bit. About a quarter of it became visible. So the funeral director, Alistair Richardson, Two Sons Funeral Home, a nice, neat, slow march, slowly closes the back door of the hearse. Again, he slow marches around his vehicle, the hearse, and he will get back into the hearse at this time, and the motorcade will proceed. So we're outside the green, yellow, and white, very brilliantly painted and highly visible home of the late Hubert Hughes, decked in chairs and his famous table. And those white chairs were where he spent many a day following his exit from politics, with just his shorts, no shirt on. He was familiar for that. And he would be there entertaining whoever came by to talk politics and talk about just about anything. And also to eat and to drink and to break bread, as he liked to say. So we are moving on from his residence. So we spent a few minutes here. Mr. Hughes, as we are just going past his official residence now here in South Hill. And so we are back in, our driver is back, and we are moving along again. Again, we see people in the area in South Hill coming out, standing tall and proud, waving, giving the courtesy bow, just looking on as the hearse and the rest of the motorcade passes by. Vehicles stopping as the hearse goes by.
Showing their respect. Alright, we see someone with their tree. We continue to head east.
There it is, the Hubert Benjamin Hughes Drive. So we've gone past the Hubert Benjamin Hughes Drive. We're just coming up towards the Atlantic Star Medical Center, and we'll be going past where Hill's remains will be interred, the Bethel Methodist Church here in South Hill, on Friday afternoon. We'll be heading into the sandy ground area around the pond before we come back up on the main and going through Water Swamp along the George Hill Main Road. Coming to the airport roundabout, we'll be making a right. We'll be passing just outside the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport. Members of the Atlantic Star Medical Facility just coming out and waving. Employees there, workers there. It's coming up on the corner at the Eves Oven here in South Hill. So once we've come out of the sandy ground area and we get to the airport Walbeck roundabout, we'll be making a right to the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, driving to the airport, making a left at the head of the road, and then left to Freedom Park. We'll be having a stop at Freedom Park because Freedom Park is also important. It's also important that the history, when the annals of history are recalled, and the record is made, that that will reflect that Freedom Park meant a lot to the late Hubert Hughes. In fact, Mr. Hughes was the one who insisted that that area be named Freedom Park. And this was due to the fact that the Revolutionary Warriors blocked the airstrip from planes landing during the Revolution period. And Mr. Hughes always insisted that that area be named Freedom Park. So that too is another significant bit that we would certainly highlight for you as we get closer to that area. We've passed the Methodist Church and its burial ground where the body of the late Hubert Hughes will be interred on Friday as we go through the South Hill area. Moving along quite well. So far, so good. No accidents or incidents. Motorcade has flowed quite nicely. No hiccups since we started earlier this morning, just after 9:30, the Two Sons Funeral Home in North Hill. This is Lights Live, in association with Radio Anguilla, providing you with live coverage of the official motorcade to honor the passing of the late Hubert Benjamin Hughes. certainly hope that you're hearing us.
At standing ground, where we will proceed into the standing ground community, where folks will get their chance to pay their respects.
Roundabout at the top of the hill here in South Hill, and then proceed along Water Swamp, George Hill, right out to the airport roundabout. So we are making that descent down the incline here in the sandy ground area. Making a turn around the pond and get back out. The body, the late former leader, will be lying in state as of tomorrow, Wednesday, until Friday. On Friday, the official funeral ceremony with tributes starting around 9:30. And the official service starts at 11 o'clock at the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral in the valley. Quite a bit of planning has gone into these various events to mark the period of mourning, official mourning, led by P.S. Chanel Petty Barrett. She has been the lead person with all the preparations for these various activities. Mrs. Petty Barrett and her team, other members of government. So we're in sandy ground as we continue along the road here, going around the pond, famous Anguilla salt pond. Of course, mining of salt has played such a big part in the lives of Anguillians over these many years, and this pond has so many stories to be told. So many people who worked, toiled day and night in this pond. At one time, Anguilla was a leading exporter of salt, and this is where it's all, most of it, or if not all, as I understand it, came from this very same salt pond. So there's a lot of history boiled up, binded up in this. Again, seeing persons just stopping. As the hearse passes by, they would stop. They're in the vehicle, they pull to the side, pull off the road, and they stop. Again, very good to see, very respectful. As we motor along around the pond, slowly proceeding. Police vehicle out front. Members of the Bikers Club behind. Police outriders on their motorbikes as well. A hearse just in front of us. Our vehicle right behind the hearse. Then behind of us is the dear wife of the former leader, Mrs. Norma Hughes, and other members of the family. They're in that vehicle. And then behind that, we have the Premier, Honorable Premier, Dr. Webster, other ministers of government in their official vehicles. Again, this is Lloyd Life, and we're in the Sandy Ground area now.
So we're in the heart of Sandy Ground neighborhood. We haven't seen much folks on the side of the road, but we do know that respects are being paid. Such a beautiful pond above us. Guys, you can come down here, you can pick your salt. It's such a beautiful view down here. You can come and pick your salt. Looks like we have some interesting street users. Like I said, we have a beautiful pond here. Beautiful pond. The best salt you can get. up ahead. Taking a complete spin around the sandy pond as we head back to the main road that we can head back east towards the roundabout.
That was Hubert Hughes. He was best unscripted. You give him a script and he was trip. He'll be totally at sea. But if you tell him, look, just go up and speak from your heart. And that is what he did. As we are coming around, we've gone around the salt pond. We are coming next to the Sandy Ground Cemetery and the Sandy Ground ball field. And we'll be heading back up east, back up to the roundabout, and we'll proceed into Water Swamp, George Hill. We'll be making a stop at the tire shop where Mr. Hughes made his had his grand finale, made his final speech, political speech at the tire shop, and has made many of his political meetings were held there. In fact, the campaigns that he ran normally would kick off at the tire shop. That would be a stomping ground for him, where many of his supporters would gather for political meetings. But the late Hubert Hughes has done quite a bit for his country in his own way and in his time. And it's good to see that he's being accorded the type of respect that he deserves. Mark you, there are many who would not agree with many of the things he would have done in the past, and they would have told him so. Even persons he started out with in politics would not have agreed and had several disagreements, bitter ones. In and out of Parliament, was involved in some court issues and legal issues and so on and so forth. But he continued. He was like the evergreen. When you think he's out, he just comes back. That was the type of man he is. He loved people. I know many of the persons who worked with him in his office when he was leader of government business and head of country. A number of the secretaries and other persons, many of whom I've spoken to, I've said that he always treated them well. He was always respectful. He would come to the office, and when he comes in, he would say, "Good morning, everyone." So they have very high regard. Many of the persons who worked with him have very high regard for him. Like I said, the late former chief minister was no saint, and none of us are. He had his faults, had his shortcomings, just like all of us. But he always stood for what he thought was right, was just, and he always stood for the people of Anguilla. He represented Anguilla. That was foremost on his mind. We're in the Water Swamp area now. We've just gone past the Jumbo Plaza as we head east, heading on to the George Hill main road as we continue along here. So our next stop, we'll be making a brief stop. We'll be at the tire shop in George Hill. As I indicated, that is where Mr. Hughes made his grand finale political meeting the day before the 2015 general election. We're coming past the old shopping mall here in the Water Swamp area. Self-Defense Academy. To our left, Tomac Plaza. On our right, coming up, will be the Ray's Funeral Home. What? The building that once housed, well, still or is about to release the community college. I think they're moving into their new facility shortly. That building owned by the late Bob Rogers, revolutionary, that outstanding Anguillian figure. So we've just gone through the stoplight on the George Hill main road. So we're coming up momentarily. And we'll be making a brief stop at the tire shop. Very important landmark, important area for the late Honorable Chief Minister Hubert Hughes. Held many of his political meetings here at the tire shop. In fact, former Minister Evan Gums and his brothers who have the business here, Evan Gums speaks very highly of Mr. Hughes, pays him great courtesy and respect, as we make a little loop here as a mark of respect. So we're making a minute stop here in front of the tire shop. Some of the workers there are coming out. His final political statement on a political platform was made here at the tire shop in George Hill. Some folks are coming out, standing and taking with their cell phones out, as is customary these days, and taking snapshots of this, the official motorcade for the late Hubert Benjamin Hughes. This is Lloyd's Life, in association with Radio Anguilla, moving through the island as the people of Anguilla pay their respects to the fallen leader.
Bringing to you live from Anguilla. To all our Facebook viewers, all our YouTube and Facebook viewers, we take a pleasure bringing you this footage today. We do believe that you deserve to see what's happening. Therefore, for those of you who are at work and can't make it out, we understand, we know. Do take a few minutes to be on it for a bit as we bring you this live footage. And it was even in a island. We are now approaching the bypass in Georgia that has officially been opened a few days ago, very recently.
mark of respect for the Revolutionary warriors who blocked the airstrip from planes landing during the Revolution period. And the late Hubert Hughes always insisted that that area be named Freedom Park, and so hence it's gotten that name. In fact, one or two political meetings I know have been held there. Other activities have been held there. I've seen in recent times it's been used by some youngsters to play football, to play soccer. Again, we see folks just pulling off their road and giving way to the procession. So we are right at the Walbeck roundabout, just approaching it now momentarily. And we are about to make the right turn. And we'll be driving through the airport, in front of the airport building. So we've now made that turn, the airport roundabout, looking at the number of palm trees lining both sides of this particular strip of road.
It's live coverage. We're now heading
And
over
there's
towards
the sign of
the airport
CGR.
area. As you can see, we're making a right into the airport, where we give folks and staff, the opportunity of bidding their farewell. The intent is for no man to be left unturned. Everyone getting a fair opportunity. So we can see that we proceed towards the airport. So we're gonna make a right. So right there we have our sister also. Another dedicated and in my book also a pioneer for Anguilla. She's very helpful, and you know that's our dear sister also. So we proceed into the airport, where we will exit. As you can see there, right up ahead, police, we have a cyclist. So as we enter into the entrance of the airport, we can see folks as well waiting their farewell. We have our dear brother Kasich. There we have the folks as they come into the airport entrance and exit. So the hearse has taken a body into Freedom Park. This park has serious history in relation to the revolution and the politics of Anguilla. So guys, we're at Freedom Park.
Nice area, nice open area. What many consider to be one of the really nice green spaces here in the valley area, been named Freedom Park, and so it's been called that. So we're taking some time. The hearse has stopped. Everyone else has stopped. We've stopped as well. Hearse is proceeding, and we proceed once again. So we are taking our cue from the hearse. Hearse is making a nice little loop in Freedom Park with the airport parking lot off to our left, the tower and the Fire and Rescue Services building there as well. Looking at the famous grape tree, looking at the palms over on that main road on either side of the road. Vehicles streaming in behind us. Members of government in their official vehicles are here today. Other members of the Anguillan community, supporters and well-wishers, paying their respect to the late former Chief Minister of Anguilla, Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Hearse slowly makes that turn again, left turn out of Freedom Park onto the main road as we head towards the airport roundabout. Then we'll make a right and come down into the center of the city. Procession will continue going down to the St. Mary's Cathedral Anglican Church. A stop will be made where the students from the Valley Primary School would come to the roadside with their flags, will be at the roadside with their flags. From that area, procession will drive through the Queen Elizabeth Avenue, making a stop at the University Center, where the students of the Albina Lake Hodge Campus B will be assembled. Then the procession will proceed to the Aurelia Kelly Primary School, and a stop will be made near that school, where the students will be lined up with their flags. So we have made a turn. The hearse is just turning now at the airport roundabout as we go down into the main thoroughfare, the main area in the valley. This takes us right through the center of the business and commerce sector and even governmental sector here in Anguilla. Stream of vehicles coming towards us, going in a southerly direction. One or two have just given way, either by stopping or just pulling wide. So here we are in the center. Lloyd's Live in association with Radio Anguilla, providing you with live coverage of the official Motorcade.
Okay, we now head into the valley area where we can see folks are awaiting their chance to bid their farewell. As we can see, we have folks here at the Anguilla Lottery. We also have folks at the post office. can see many Anguilla flags. Folks are proud of Anguilla. We have staff of the Digicel as well, paying their respects. We have folks here at Flow who are also paying their respects at the side of the road. Yes, yes, yes. Right ahead, see members of the Flow team, staff of Flow. They're doing due diligence. And this is the big one. We are now approaching the valley area. And right ahead of us, yeah, if you think me cool. Right ahead of us, we have students by the numbers. I can't start to count them. The students of the Valley Primary School. It's such a tremendous, like some would say, a massive turnout. Students paying their respect with their flags. Nice. This is right in the valley, bringing you right Portis of Clean Stream and in Anguilla. We are now in front of English Rose, the valley where we take this beautiful sight of the Valley School students as they pay their farewell respects, as they wave their flag. This is awesome, guys. This is awesome. I don't think we've ever had anything in Anguilla like this before. So this is definitely historic. Just take a look at the numbers in front of us. Massive turnout. Also right at the entrance of the Pro Cathedral of St. Mary, where the funeral service will be held on Friday morning. First beginning at the House of Assembly with a processional with the body. As we move through, see the students are very happy and proud to do what they are doing.
Harris slowly drives by, seeing the principal of the Valley Primary School, Mr. Skellicky, proudly waving his Anguilla flag, leading the pack, leading from the front. He's the head of that school. Past the famous Tarrant tree just outside the St. Mary's Cathedral. Just to our left, the strip, the area referred to as a strip. Small businesses, Ben's Barbecue, and you name it, you can get it all there. Of adults mixing in with the children, teachers, members of the education department as well coming out. And on Friday we'll be here at the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral for the official funeral ceremony for the late former Chief Minister, the Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. students from smallest to some of the older students and the higher forms are out here. Very respectfully lined up. As I said, members of the Education Department of Education as well. Ministry of Education officials as well. Nice mix of ordinary citizens too, mixing in with the school children from the Valley Primary School and providing a great spectacle here today. It's live coverage for you, Lloyd's Live, association with Radio Anguilla.
Alright, you can see the massive turnout here. Large numbers, students of the Valley Primary School. This is wonderful, guys. This is wonderful. Yes, folks, that was the school, students of the Valley Primary School bidding their farewell. As we move towards the Ronald Webster Park, where we will head up towards the Soderbrand Primary School or Reed Academy. Today is definitely a big day. Students of the Albiona Lake Arts Comprehensive School bidding their farewell. This is nice, guys. This is historic. This is not something you want to miss. We thank you for tuning in. So we continue to see more of the students. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you live, courtesy of Clean Stream and in Anguilla, live coverage of an island farewell for the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Students of the Campus B, that being a Lake Arch Comprehensive School, Campus B. Also bidding their farewell to the late Mr. Hubert Hughes. Up ahead we can see a crowd as well. Also students of the Campus B. We also have folks at the Raymond Gisha Technical Center, also bidding their farewell.
Son, hello there.
Radio Anguilla.
All right.
Bringing you streaming audio of the official motorcade for the late Honorable former Chief Minister of Anguilla, Hubert Benjamin Hughes. As we look away to the right is the building for the football. Then as we look further towards the east, perched on top of a little mound is the mausoleum for the father of the nation, bearing the remains of the father of the nation, the Honorable James Ronald Webster. Of course, Hubert Hughes and Mr. Webster would have ran together on same political slate, same political parties, had their differences, had their splits. Such is the life of politics. But Mr. Hughes never lost respect for the father of the nation. Never. Always spoke highly and glowingly of the work of the father of the nation, Honorable James Ronald Webster. And so the students still excited, still animated, many of them, on either side of the Queen Elizabeth Avenue. See our camera just panning, getting a good shot of this student. So we're coming up now to the UWI Center at Brown and Creamish Building. We're still seeing more students from Campus B here with us this morning, with their teachers, with their flags, with their masks. Teachers, good to see them out, waving, paying their respects. So we are just outside the University of the West Indies Anguilla campus. Open campus. Yes, UWI Open Campus Anguilla. Still more students, still more teachers, ordinary citizens out here as well, on the lawn of the campus. Just had a quick shot of the brother of late Hubert Hughes, James Freddie Hughes, and his son Rommel Hughes, off to our right in their vehicle P11. Freddie Hughes being driven by his son Rommel Hughes, right at that junction leading up to the Campus B on the western side of the hospital. Some of the nurses are out here, yes. Some of the nurses and hospital staff, security out here are waving, paying their respect. More students and teachers. And so we've moved past the Campus B and the UWI Open Campus Anguilla facility. It's the church. Hosted by Philip Downs. It's the primary school. Students of that school will be on the side of the road as well with the teachers. Primary school. Motorcade will continue. We'll make a left turn onto the Stony Ground main road through Little Dix, Badcocks, Deep Waters. We'll be making a left at Chalmers Junction through Welch's and up to Island Harbor. Yes. We can pick up from our vantage point here. We're seeing the students of the Anguilla Kelly Primary School in their maroon, light pink uniforms, boys and girls. A wonderful shot we're getting here of the new facility, recently rebuilt since Hurricane Irma, damage caused to that school and many of the other schools. And this is quite a lovely building to our right, which now forms part of the school facility here at Aurelia Kelly. So quite a bit of number of changes have taken place over the last few years since the hurricane. So students lining both sides of the road here. Many of the little ones right up front on our right. More senior students on our left. All with their flags. Majority with face coverings. Singing the national song. Teachers present. Singing another song, I Am So Blessed. Singing, I Give You Thanks. Thanks, thanks, I give you thanks. That is the song they're singing here at the Aurelia Kelly Primary School. Basically telling the former leader, we give you thanks. That is how I'm interpreting that. But using one of the popular hymns as their passing tribute. They're all lined up, the entire area right in front of the school, from the top right up, from the bottom right to the top. And this is such a spectacle. It's so good to see, especially these little ones, looking so cute in their uniforms with their flags and their face masks and waving and singing. Lloyd's Live in association with Radio Anguilla, providing you with full coverage of the official motorcade.
You are about to get a closer view of the warm farewell for the late Mr. Hughes. It's a very historic event. I would say the first. I don't think there has ever been one like this. This is very incredible as you get a closer view of students. We have the big ones and we even have the little ones. can see we have a large crowd here, all students, small, big, all sizes and ages. Okay, so they are singing, thanks, thanks, I give you thanks. So they're thanking Mr. Hughes for what he has done. So we have everyone. All of us are considered people of Anguilla, and we are to appreciate what he has done for us. We now proceed towards the street light at Stillacrown Junction, where we will take a left and head east through Stoneground, through Little Dicks, Deep Waters, and we move on upward through Welch's and Island Harbor as we come around, giving the other schools the opportunity to bid the late Mr. Hughes farewell. It has been a joyous occasion thus far, and I will say that no sadness is felt. No sadness is felt. I haven't detected any of that.
We hope
Everyone is
hearing us clearly. We hope that the video shots are quite good, and especially for folks overseas and those of you in the offices at home who are not able to come out and line the roads, line the streets, that you're able to feel part and parcel of this auspicious occasion. The official motorcade through the entire length and breadth of Anguilla. Started at Tucson's Funeral Home, headed out into the Blowing Point area, Spanish Town, went right to the end of the foot of West End, came back through Long Bay, back up through South Hill, around Sandy Ground, Pond area, through Water Swamp, around the airport, coming through the valley, along the Queen Elizabeth Highway, Queen Elizabeth Avenue, and then now into the Stony Ground area, going through Badcocks, Deep Waters, Chalvis, through Welch's, and then up to Island Harbor. We'll turn around and come along on the eastern side, in the East End area, coming back through the valley area, and finishing up at Tucson's funeral home. So we picked up a bit of a pace here now as we go through the Stony Ground area. I've seen some gentleman there with a newspaper holding up with a picture on the front of the former leader. So the pace has picked up a bit as we go through this Stony Ground area, going through as we head up towards Little Dicks. As the Anguillians at home and abroad pay their respects to the late former Chief Minister Hubert B. Hughes. So Hughes will be laid to rest on Friday. His final resting place will be the Bethel Methodist Church Cemetery. That's where the body will be interred on Friday afternoon. Friday morning, he will be escorted from the House of Parliament. At about starting at 9, he'll get to the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral at 9:30. And then they'll have a series of tributes in the church, at the church. Then the official ceremony, funeral ceremony, will start at 11 o'clock. Tomorrow, special sitting of Parliament from about 9 or 9:30. Parliamentarians, past and present, will be in the house, invited to the house to make their contributions, pay their respects. They'll be speaking. The body of the late Chief Minister will be lying in state in the House of Parliament. Members of the public will get a chance to go in an orderly manner, orderly fashion, bearing in mind the COVID-19 pandemic regulations and protocols. But they'll get that chance to go in there tomorrow, as the body will be lying in state from tomorrow, Wednesday, until Friday. This afternoon in South Hill from just about 4:30, public tribute session. Members of the public again will be afforded the opportunity to use the microphone in that setting and pay their tribute. So in the Deep Waters area, going on the Deep Waters road here now, as we head towards Welch's next. We've just come out from Little Dix, Badcocks into Deep Waters we are now. We've picked up a little bit of pace here as we go through this area. And we'll be going through Welch's. We'll make a left at the Chalvis Junction through to Welch's. Next stop will be in the vicinity of the St. Andrew's Anglican Church, where students from the Vivian Vanterpool Primary School will come out with their flags and pay their respects to the former leader as well. From the St. Andrew's area, the motorcade will be going via Mount Fortune, East End. There'll be a stop at the Morris Vanterpool Primary School. Again, the students will pay their respects. And from the Morris Vanterpool Primary School, the motorcade will continue through to Sandy Hill, Long Path, the Farrington, the Quarter, through the traffic light, onto the Albert Lake Drive, through the roundabout in this valley, onto the Coronation Drive, passing the Agriculture Station, Agriculture Department, up to the Old Cottage Hospital, through Crocus Hill, onto the Reverend John, just outside the Reverend John A. Gum's house, making a left into Rock Farm, onto the Reverend Leonard Carty Drive, and then making it back to the funeral home in North Hill. So that's about the route that we'll be following here today. So we continue here, led by the police vehicle and the police motorcycles. Then we have members of the motorbike club here in Anguilla. Not the full lineup of motorcyclists from the club today, but they're represented, as they've often done at many national and state occasions and funerals and other important events. Members of this motorcycle club, they normally turn out. So this has become a feature of the Anguillan landscape, the members of the motorcycle club. Quite a growing and an active club. Very enthusiastic members within that fraternity. And so we make that left here now, coming out from Deep Waters as we head into the Welch's area. Again, we have picked up the pace. Quite a bit is picked up in this area. It's going at quite a click. Police outrider trying to ensure that the traffic is kept clear. So this is a security matter. So we started out just past 9:30 this morning from the Two Sons Funeral Home, and now we are in the Welch's area. heading towards Island Harbor. As the casket bearing the body of the former Chief Minister in the Tucson's hearse, proceeding along the Welch's main road. This is a tribute and mark of respect to the former leader, part of the official week of mourning. Started yesterday. Yesterday, of course, observed as a national holiday, Queen's birthday. On Friday, we'll have a national holiday being observed for the former Chief Minister. And how coincidental that at the start of the week, you have an official holiday for Her Majesty the Queen, as we see members of the family here, the Vanderpool family, coming out and saluting. Brother Joe and the other brothers just coming to the side of the road and saluting as the hearse passed. So as I was saying, on Monday we had an official holiday for the Queen, Her Majesty, her birthday. And then on Friday we'll be having an official holiday for the late former Chief Minister Hubert Hughes. And that coincidence has certainly not escaped the view of many persons, including myself. Quite stark in its coincidence. I'm sure the former leader would have put on a wry smile. So here are some students from the nursery, from the school here at the church, the Baptist church here in the Welches area, one run by Baptist church headed by Reverend Gums, Norrell Gums. So seeing some of the students are here with their flags. First Baptist Church, we're just outside that church. A big open space in front of us. And the tiny tots. Couldn't be more than maybe 4 or 5, maybe even younger, with their teachers. They're here with their flags and they're paying their respects. And that's very important that the young people understand the history, the culture, understand that when a leader of a country passes on, that courtesy is afforded to
They're indeed happy.
that individual.
And for what the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes has done for Anguilla. Yes, guys, that was the preschool right here in Welches.
That's where we'll be making our next stop. And the students from the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School will be coming up there. Lloyd's Live, in association with Radio Anguilla, as we continue to provide coverage of the official motorcade to pay respects to the late former Chief Minister, Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Mr. Hughes, who passed away on the 7th of May, 2021, in the late afternoon when word got in that he would be in here So I see we are running a little behind for another engagement, a program that we will be having on our Radio Anguilla immediately following the motorcade. In fact, I'm just getting some little buzzes on my phone from some of the participants, so just to let them know that we would have to push back our time a little later than we had originally planned, but we will have the show on the way as soon as we are through with the motorcade. So just want to let the participants know that we will still be going through with the activity, but just at a slightly later stage. We certainly do apologize for that, but that was unavoidable due to the official start of the motorcade here today. So just hold strain, we'll be getting that underway. So we're here now as we get into Island Harbor in the northeastern part of the island. So we're coming up to the Anglican Church, St. Andrew's Anglican Church. So we'll be looking at it here as we come up. Students from the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School will be out. And as we've seen, the students from all the other schools thus far. Still got the Morris Vanderpool Primary to take care of. And yes, in the distance, we can see the students from the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School as we just go past as we come up in front of the St. Andrew's Anglican Church here in Island Harbor. The students are coming into our view just as we get around this corner. St. Andrew's Anglican Church, recently rededicated, looking quite nice. Nice blue windows, white building. And yes, here are the students from the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School in green and white, their uniforms, green and cream. And they're singing the national song. Not just larger delegation as some of the other schools, for example, the Orita Kelly Primary or even the Adrian T. Hazel Primary, but they're out with their teachers. And they're here, they're singing, they're standing at attention, looking upright, looking quite engaged and brisk. All wearing their masks. Still in this COVID-19 pandemic. Still no vaccines approved yet for the children, so got to be extremely cautious. Teachers with them. Outside the St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Island Harbor, and we're with students from the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School. So we're certainly looking good. The stream is holding up quite nicely, thanks to Lloyd Gums. Yeah, we've been going on 2 hours and 52 minutes. 2 hours and 52 minutes.
These are the folks who are also with us for the whole motorcade through the island. What do you say? We have to go that isn't here? Huh? Here folks, we can see the students of Vivian Vanderpool Primary School bidding their farewell. But I got to the gas station, so I got to end up in the back. So I just tell you, I can tell you exactly.
I'm over here, cheese.
And so he's out here, not on his bike today, but at the side of the road in Island Harbor, next to the St. Andrew's Anglican Church with his conch shell, and he blew at least 3 times as a mark of respect as the hearse bearing the body of the late former Chief Minister passed by. So we are coming up to the heart of Island Harbor, on the right next to the wharf. We are going through that area as we continue here with this official motorcade. Behind us, members of the Anguilla government led by Dr. Ellis Webster, all the ministers of government out here today, and other government officials, and of course members of the public forming part of the motorcade. Robert Benjamin Harrigan Jetty just passed here in Island Harbor, and there's some folks just lining the street here. Mr. Hughes would have stumped all these areas with his political meetings, providing support for respective candidates that his party would have fielded in the area. Long and distinguished political career. Get his point of view, of course. Served as Chief Minister on 3 occasions. First going back to 1994 when he had his first stint. Had a second stint early 2000 and a third stint, his final one from 2010 to 2015. So he's had 3 stints as leader of government business. And as Chief Minister of Anguilla. One or two of the citizens just saluting. One lady telling our crew, God bless, drive safely. Full marks to our driver, Drakes, who's done a wonderful job. He's maneuvered us very nicely and safely. And so we want to commend Drakes for was always doing a great job. Lloyd's Live here with us as well. And at least 2 of his family members are here with us in our Jeep. Lloyd utilizing the sunroof to get some wonderful shots. Some older members of the community coming out now, coming to the side of the road and waving and paying their respects. Some with flags, some without flags, but nonetheless they're coming out. And this is absolutely wonderful to see. Smitty, famous Smitty here in Smitty's Bar. He is here in Island Harbor. Smitty's comes up. Smitty once served in the Legislative Council as well, with the late former leader, father of the nation, James Warner. Webster was instrumental, I understand it, to frequent caller to radio call-in program. Smithy says his piece as well, is never shy to say what's on his mind. As we come through now, and we're heading on the eastern side, we'll be stopping by the Morris Vanderpool Primary School. So we've gone 2 hours and a bit into this motorcade. We will be going through the eastern Mount Fortune area, and they're going back through the valley area, through the roundabout, going through the old Cottage Hospital, Crocus Hill, and then back to North Hill to the funeral home where we'll conclude. So we're heading around towards the eastern side now, into the eastern Mount Fortune area. It's the official motorcade. Mark of respect, island-wide, for the late Honorable former Chief Minister of Anguilla, Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Mr. Hughes, who passed away on the 7th of last month, he was 87 years old. He'd been ailing for a bit, been in and out of the local hospital. He was flown to Colombia, had some surgery done there as well. Was recovering at home for a while as well. And then he finally passed on the afternoon of the 7th of May. Seeing some folks here, older folks coming out. Seen quite a number of older folks who would have known and grew up with Mr. Hughes, his politics, coming out, and we've seen this across the island today during our coverage. Some older folks, some of the diehards, and who knew him well, coming out and paying their respects. Seen a number of younger persons as well, who also have come out and have paid their respects to the former leader. Just to alert listeners to Radio Anguilla that immediately following this broadcast, we'll be having a special program involving many of our local politicians and members of Hughes family. Will be joining us in studio for a round table, looking at reflecting on the life of the former leader, his life and his politics. Then later on this afternoon, there's a tribute session in his beloved District Number 6 in the South Hill area, just outside his house. From 4:30 till about 7:30, I understand it, where members of the public will be able to get on the microphone and pay their respects via tributes and songs and poems and whatever else they want to do. So that will be afforded. Tomorrow, House of Assembly, parliamentarians past and present will be there from about 9:30. Tomorrow until Friday, the day of the funeral, So members of the public again will be allowed into the parliamentary building under strict COVID-19 regulations and protocols to have a view of the former chief. That's from tomorrow until Friday. Funeral service will start, tributes will start at 9:30 in the morning on Friday, and then the official ceremony will be at 11 o'clock at the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral Anglican Church in the Valley. Preparations and plans have all been taken care of for that, the funeral service. The funeral service will be conducted under the auspices of the Methodist Church community here in Anguilla. But they've requested and have been granted permission by Bishop Brooks and members of the Anglican community to use the St. Mary's Pro Cathedral for the ceremony. So well done to Bishop Errol Brooks and members of the Anglican commune for that gracious gesture. Sure the family of the late Chief Minister would be very much happy that that request has been granted. And that is not unusual. We've seen that, especially in the COVID pandemic, where the Anglican Church in the Valley has been used by other church denominations for funerals of this nature. So we are in the East End as we are getting close to the Morris Vanterpool Primary School. Yes, so, or the building that houses, because the school was destroyed by the hurricane knockdown and it's now being rebuilt. A nice facility. And here the students, brown and brown, light brown top, brown skirts, boys and girls, they're out here. Teachers are there with them. They are not singing like at least the two other schools we saw. They're certainly holding their flags and they're standing at attention. They're not slouching in any way. They're quite upright with their flags in front of their chests, some out in front of them, but they're looking very proud and they understand the occasion and what it all means. They're seeing the bikers go by, they're seeing the police outright as a police vehicle. Now they're seeing the hearse bearing the body of the former leader going past them. This is the Morris Vanterpool Primary School in East End. Hopefully shortly they'll be moving into the brand new school facility just to the back of us. We've just passed it. Really seeing that proudly displayed on the the first school we're hearing with this very revolutionary song.
Stay tuned, guys. Don't go. Stay tuned with us. Don't leave. We're gonna get you back up to the front. So what we've seen thus far for the day, it has been a very joyful day, I would say. I would not say a saddened day, but a joyful day where students get to bid their farewell. So right ahead here, I now see the students. Now see the students. They're bidding farewell, they're waving their flags. This is an occasion for everyone. The small, the big, the young, the old. This is for everyone.
Can you stream just past me? You get him back?
Yeah, for me. So right here we see students of the Mars Vanderpool Primary School. They are bidding their farewell. Alright guys, so we're moving again. We're gonna try to play a little catch up here. I ain't seeing nothing ahead right now. Go ahead, nothing. Go ahead a bit. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, nothing coming. Alright, hold on. We got here. Hold on. Alright guys, we're just waiting to get a chance to go up, give you a closer view. Here we have Sister Evelyn Fleming paying her respects. Guys, we can see up ahead of us, it's quite a lengthy line. We're gonna try our best to get back up front, but nevertheless folks are paying their respects and as they show their appreciation for what the late Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes has done for Anguilla. So you have our Anguilla patriots here. That's Teacher Patsy, well-known Teacher Patsy. Okay, it's a little difficult for us to get up front as we have oncoming traffic. It's not a holiday here in Anguilla as we take this island farewell. We have more flags, more flags, more flags, more flags. Quite a joyous day as we saw students, teachers, people of Anguilla with their farewells to the late Hubert Benjamin Hughes. Sorry, that's Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. And we all are appreciative of what he has done. Putting his all out for Anguilla and seeking the best for Anguilla. We continue to bring you live coverage as we now approaching the valley area. We are now at the Mega Depot. better known to many, still has the big store. We're getting there, guys. That is the front of the Motorcade. They will be the students of the Honolulu Primary School bidding their farewell. So it's no man left behind. That kind of principle, you know, everyone gets a fair opportunity to bid their farewell. It's a very hot sunny day today, and we are honored to mobilize the body of the late as folks say their farewell. Very loved man, full of laughter. He will be missed by many, you know, local and foreign. Go around. See if I can get up. We're trying to get up front, guys. We're doing this just for you. All right, guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. Students from Honolulu Primary School bidding their farewell. We are seeing drawn flags. We are seeing cloth flags. We're seeing it all. Students are bidding their farewell. All right, we got that. We got that. That was the Honolulu Primary School bidding their farewell. We're just above the Proctor Supermarket, JW Proctor's, and we're heading west. As we soon come to the end of this motorcade. You know, we thank all of those who have tuned in with us. Those those who have liked, shared, subscribed, those of you who have done it all, you know, we say thank you. Bring you this live coverage, courtesy of Clean Stream and in Anguilla. We're doing this for the people. You know, we're sharing the world through our lens. How are you? Again? All right. We're seeing flags, flags, and more flags. As we near the junction, as we near the junction, we want to say, you know, it's a pleasure doing this for you, and we thank you for tuning in with us. Do remember to stay with us for the remaining of the week's proceedings, as we keep you in the loop. Here we have folks at the Mary's Bakery. You never know when I'm gonna put the camera on you. All right. Flags, flags, and more flags. Respect for the late. guys, we are now in the valley. Alright guys, we seem to be lagged a bit because of the street light. So we're now passing the Coronation Park. Alright folks, we're kind of moving a little slow here. Moving slow a bit. Alright, more farewells, more farewells. Alright guys, so we're heading back to the Two Sons Funeral Home, where we will come to the end of this farewell motorcade for the late Hubert Hughes. We want to say thank you for tuning in with us, and we do hope you've enjoyed our coverage as we continue throughout the week to give you more coverage of what is going on as it relates to the late Mr. Hughes. So right now we're on our way back to the Two Sons Funeral Home in North Hill, and we will end there. Scenery. It's a nice hot sunny day. Today's Motorcade. Of someone who has been patriot of Anguilla, someone who loved Anguilla, someone who would do anything for Anguilla. He was a very appreciated man by many, and it has been a pleasure for us to bring this live to you today, courtesy of Clean Stream and Main Anguilla. We do hope you enjoyed, and we ask that you stick with us for the whole week, because we have more to come. We take you into special sitting, which takes place tomorrow, and also into the funeral service on Friday morning, starting with a procession from the House of Assembly to the Pro Cathedral of St. Mary's. right by the strip. For those of you who are familiar with the term strip, that is where the procession ends. And we thank you. We are back at Two Sons from Home. And we thank you for joining with us. We appreciate you being with us today, and we appreciate bringing this coverage to you. Alright, yeah.